Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I'm Braden. This is Tim. Second Legacy is the place, and thank you so much for stopping by. We have got to show you how the left is losing their collective minds again. This time around Tennessee.
How do you lose something you never had?
Don't step on my intro. Don't step on my intro, man. But actually, that's a good ad. Okay. That's a good ad. That's true. But no, I like it. I like it. It's very true. It adds a realism to it. But if you guys are enjoying this realism, the sarcasm, the humor, the analysis, the 2A every day, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn the notification bell on. We're going to say a quick word for our sponsor, and then we're going to get into this because, oh boy, are you guys going to enjoy this one. And the content today is brought to you by a sponsor, Ammo Squared. Now, this is such an interesting idea, guys. We're talking about retirement accounts for your ammo. It's a thing. This is something you guys definitely at least look at if you're interested.
So what's really cool about it is you can tell Ammo Squared what type of ammunition you want, and it'll automatically purchase that ammunition throughout the month. You can also sell the ammunition back if you don't want it, or you can just say, send it to me now, and they'll hold it for you. They'll store it for free, and they'll ship it to you whenever you request it. There's so many cool features about this service. You really need to check them out at ammosquared.com, and we want to thank them for sponsoring today's video.
All right, Tim. Do you have your muck boots on? Because we're about to get knee deep in some BS right here.
Oh, I can't wait.
Oh, they're losing their minds.
Oh, I know they are. They are.
But don't worry, we're here to provide some clarity. Because we're going to dive into Tennessee, Tim. The cesspool, the pit of destruction, the pit of despair. That's what I was trying to go for. That's what's happening according to the left. Because you know what they did,
Yeah,
Tim.
I do. They had the audacity to allow teachers to make the decision for themselves whether or not they wanted to seek out, I think it was like 40 hours of training and to carry a firearm in defense of themselves and their students. And of course, the left is losing its collective minds. And I think the funniest part about this is the fact that this is nothing new. Like over half the states in the country have laws that allow people to carry in sensitive places, including schools.
Yep.
And so they're acting like this is like the first of its kind. And oh my gosh, we're all going to die. And teachers are going to be gunning students down in the classroom and in the hallways when they reach into their backpacks. Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's stupid.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, it's so stupid.
Yeah.
Well, that was a good summation. I mean, legitimately, guys, if you've not seen this yet, just hop on X because the left, genuinely, they are raging over this. And the big irony is this happened last week in Iowa.
Yeah.
I mean, this is not something that's like, this is completely novel. We've never seen anything like this. To Tim's point, we've got graphics we're going to show you in a second that are like, no, it's about half the states. It's actually slightly less than the concealed or the constitutional carry count, but not by much. I mean, good Lord, let's dive in, Tim, because this. Oh, I don't know what their fascination is with Tennessee, but man, they are trying. Well, here's what they were doing from in a relapse of last year. This is number 2, Doctor. Nashville, Tennessee. Protesters chanted "blood on your hands" at Tennessee House Republicans on Tuesday after they passed a bill that will allow some teachers and staff to carry concealed handguns on public school grounds and bar parents and other teachers from knowing who is armed. So this is the first thing I really want to set up with, because you said it earlier. It's completely optional. Yeah. There's lots of requirements, which are like wet dream gun control that they always demand nationally. They got it in this bill, and that's just not good enough. But before we even get into that, Tim, you know what I find so fascinating? Like infinitely fascinating? In this little outrage machine, they're talking about the fact that parents aren't going to be aware of who is armed and who hasn't. Really?
Yeah, that's called security.
Does this bring any memories back? Yeah, any kind of memories back of like, oh, I don't know. You can't tell parents if their kids want to change sexes. You can't tell parents if they have abortions. You can't tell parents if they're being distributed condoms. You can't tell parents if they can talk about contraception. All those things are a private choice. It's about the privacy of the student. You talk about this and it's like, oh my God, it's unconscionable. You're not even going to let parents be involved in the education of their children?
So what? People, anti-gun activists can harass teachers at their home.
Exactly. That's exactly how it's going to go.
It's just OPSEC. It's just security, right? The whole point of this is to keep bad people second guessing. They don't know who is armed, therefore they're less likely to attack. If you go in there and say, okay, this classroom, this teacher has this gun, well, then that just enables a criminal to avoid that or to take that, person out before they start another, series of rampages. So it's all about security, but they just glob onto these weird things and then it's bad enough that they're arming teachers, but oh my gosh, they're not going to tell parents who the teachers are. Yeah, well, when you get on an airplane where they have armed pilots, they don't have a sign on the door saying Bob's carrying a Sig Sauer P226, do they?
Or where the armed air marshals are either. You don't really wear a sign that says I'm packing. It kind of defeats the point.
Kill me first. I got a gun. It's like these people are so moronic. And the same
really are, man.
And they're making this out to be some horrible thing, as we've already noted. Roughly half the states in the country already allow such things. But these same idiots were losing their minds after 9/11 when it was decided that pilots could get training and carry firearms. And then their arguments were just as asinine. Well, what if the pilot wanted to take over the plane? You're putting the passengers at risk. It's like, you mean the same pilot flying the plane at 30,000 feet? It's like,
it's so, so stupid.
It's just mind-numbing. And they were saying, it's just going to cause accidents and plane going down because of rapid decompression and all this other stuff. And it's like, we're 30 years on and literally none of that's happened, not 30 years on, 20 years on.
Correct.
And so it's, but they always drag out the same arguments, right? Their predictions never come true, but they drag out the same arguments. Fear mongering.
Never, ever, ever. In fact, here you go. Because that's all they have. They have fear and they have terror, and that's all that they have. But anyway, let me show you some stuff. This is from Giffords.org. This is the reference, so this isn't a right-wing crazy source, right? About half of the U.S. states in some form allow teachers or other employees with concealed carry permits to carry guns on school property. About half, Tim, according to Giffords Law Center. So the legislature, this is what they're upset about. The legislature passed last week a bill creating a professional permit for trained school employees to carry at schools that protects them from criminal or civil liability for use of reasonable force. And I'm going to throw up the actual map here. Tim, you sent this over to me. The green that we're looking at is where they are actually allowed to conceal carry permits to bring guns into schools. That's the green. The blue is the public permits to bring guns into schools. Concealed weapon on campus versus public in school. This already is a thing, Tim. Like, we're showing the people.
But everybody panic now because Tennessee did it. Yeah.
But freak out because that one little white one in the middle of all those green ones, maybe, Tim, hold on. I have it. I just made an observation. Are you ready? Okay. I think this is the problem. So you know how when you play Risk, you can only attack countries and territories that are always touching? That's the only way you can do it. Maybe that's the problem because Georgia and South Carolina right there in the green one, they weren't connected to the other ones. And now that Tennessee connects them, it's like a risk move, and now it's all connected.
They're trying
and that's
to
bad
stop
because the board game looks scary.
It's strategery to stop the spread. I get it.
I think that's it.
But you know what they've basically done?
I think we're onto something.
Braden, they have given teachers a license to kill students. That's
oh my God!
That's where we're at. It's called zombie teachers, and these zombie teachers are going to roam the hallways. And these are fast walkers, Braden. They're going to roam the hallways.
Whoa. Like the World War Z
gunning
zombies?
Students down that reach into backpacks.
That's insane.
According to K-12 shooting database.
That's
just so you know.
Yes. I mean, that's it's very odd because there's never been a record of that happening with all the states that we've mentioned here. But I want to just throw something out here, Tim. And I think that this is a pretty important thing to highlight for the people of Second Legacy. This is number 7. These are the requirements, and you tell me, Tim, if this sounds at all familiar. Under the bill passed Tuesday, a worker who wants to carry a handgun would need to have a handgun carry permit and written authorization from the school's principal and local law enforcement. They would also need to clear a background check and undergo 40 hours of handgun training. They couldn't carry guns at school events, at stadiums, gymnasiums, or auditoriums. Does that sound at all vaguely familiar?
Enlighten me.
That doesn't sound like the wet dream gun control list that they want nationally for all of us on the left. The mandated training requirements, mandated licensure to own, mandated sign-offs of the law enforcement officer, mandated sign-offs of the governor of the people in power.
I'm looking at this and saying if they're putting all these restrictions on it, I mean, these teachers are going to go through probably more training than law enforcement.
Exactly.
I mean, that's what I see in all this. It's like, okay, so they're losing their collective minds over having to, I mean, and keep in mind, a lot of these schools have leftist leadership. So they got to go to the principal. The principals in these schools could just say no.
They got to sign off of it.
And then if you have politically charged law enforcement, they could just say no, and then they got to have 40 hours of handgun training. Okay. And plus whatever training was required for their carry permit initially. Okay. It's like the left is acting like they got a basket. Teachers walk in the morning, like, grab a gun, take what you want, everybody go on about your way. And in reality, they're making it extremely difficult. And again, there are probably police departments in this country that have less requirements.
That is an excellent analysis. I didn't even think about that point. I was just too busy going down the list of what they've always demanded of us, like universal background checks, mandated to own, licensed to own, mandated
doctor
training
sign
requirements.
Off, prove you're not,
Doctor sign-offs, right. Like, that's what I stopped there. But that's a very good point. Cops don't even train 40 hours on their handguns to pass their evals. I mean,
but it's just going to be mass chaos in these schools, Braden. I mean, just like it has been for the last 20 years when they've been passing these laws nationwide. But suddenly Tennessee's going to change the calculus, dude. It's all going to go downhill from now.
Well, I think it's that risk strategy thing. I really do think it has something to do with the borders connecting. It's got to be it. That Tennessee River was really holding back the flood. I mean, dude, they are losing their mind to the point where it's just all they require is chaos. They aren't even looking at the bill. They are taking something that says more guns in schools, and that's what they're making their big, broad push. Dude, everyone is doing this and freaking out. Every Town for Gun Safety, Giffords.org, the Moms Man Action Squad, the Karen Squad. They're all going ham sandwich on this, and it doesn't even make sense. It's not even based in reality.
No, but I guess they see this as something they can latch onto going into the election cycle. Now they're going to make this an issue, right? They're going to. I guarantee you in November you're going to see Biden and all those guys. And these crazy Republicans are putting guns into school. We're trying to get guns out of the schools. That's the narrative that they're setting up here, I think. This is.
Oh, no, I completely agree. Politically, that's exactly what they're doing. That and Justin Jones, one of the Tennessee three, Pearson, I think, he wants just more fame. So he walked around the whole floor filming everything, and he was doing the same thing. He's looking for more fame. But, I mean, genuinely, dude, this is more training, as you said, than police officers in most scenarios, and they're freaking out because it's optional.
Yep.
God, it hurts so bad.
And according to the old Davey at K-12, it's just these teachers are just, they have to answer this important question. Braden, we talked about this in yesterday's video. They have to answer this important question. Will you shoot a student reaching into a backpack? Okay.
The lunacy. This is why this channel exists, guys. We have more time. We have more back and forth. We have more conversation around what they're doing. Their anal. Whoop. They're.
Phenomena.
Their analysis. Whoops.
He was talking about the German rifle that momentarily replaced the 416, the Hainel. But then the German government shut that down. They're back to the 416. Anyway, let's move on.
Yeah, they shut it right back down. That's moving right along.
Just
take the wheel.
It was imported as a pistol. Anyway.
Take the damn wheel.
All right. Well, what's up next? Let's see. I have to go through your notes here because I don't read these pre-show.
There's nothing next. I just
we're done. Okay, sorry. Well, that's why he's over there dying. All right, folks. What do you think? Let us know down below. Do you think we're going to see mass chaos in the schools, teachers running around, teachers gunfighting? They haven't brought that up yet. Well, what happens when there's a disagreement between the math class and history class? Are the teachers now going to gun each other down? I mean, let us know what you think is going to happen. Comment down below. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you guys soon.